Tinder horror stories are all the rave right now, and I think this one's going to be tough to beat.
Is this a man or a woman we're listening to? I'm sorry, honey. Ooh, did I just say that? Getting intimate on the first date is normal. The problem with the video is not what she's saying. It's that she's half naked in it.
I want to wear a big fat push-up bra and look like 2007 threw up.
If there were a girl walking down the street with a big beware sign, that would be it.
If you look at dating more like a game,
you're going to see the same girl in a video in 10 years and she's going to be like, I just want to find someone. Oh, let's talk about some body count and some delusion. I love these clips. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Jedediah Bila show. You're like, Jed, are you wearing overalls? Are you 8? I'm not 8, but I do, in fact, have a pair of overalls that I thought were, a little fancy. So here they are. They have adorned the show. And I'm just looking at my screen and realizing I have not watered the plants in 2 weeks. Okay, I'm on it. I'm on it, people. We have a fantastic show for you today. First of all, I need you to hit that subscribe button. I need you to hit that like button. And I need you to pass this channel along to a guy, girl, woman, man who needs to hear the message. Just one person, every single one of you. I want you to pass it to one person and say, you need to check this crazy girl out. She's saying some stuff that's true. You know it. All right. Fantastic show for you today. We're going to get right into it because, as usual, we're feeling feisty. Are you feeling feisty at home? Don't lie. All right. Let's do number 1. Let's get right into it today. Can we blow that up? Oh, here we go. Okay. My wife with period cramps, a fever, and running off of 0 sleep. You're going to see the wife, okay, doing her thing. Ooh, look at her go. Look at her go. And then this is me with a little cough. Okay. All right. This is funny. This is funny, right? We all laugh. Ha, 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 ha. Is this true in your house? You can leave a comment. Let me know. Here's the thing that I don't like about this, though. Why is the guy always portrayed as the idiot, right? Why is the guy... Now, there may be some truth in some houses to this, right? And why is that? Because women, we're like a little neurotic. We got to clean. I could have like 104 fever, and if the refrigerator has fingerprints, it's got to stop, right? It just makes me crazy. Which is why, by the way, most women are suffering with some type of nervous system dysregulation because we can't... We always got to be doing. We always got to be fixing. We always got to be clean. That's why we're all messed up. But I don't like the constant theme of the guy being the moron. Why is it always, oh, ha, ha, the guy's always so stupid. Oh, ha, he can't handle anything. Oh, my husband just did as an example, he did a 3-day fast. You know this fasting trend that's out there? Okay. He did a 3-day fast. He did it dry. No water. Okay. He's like, I don't need the water. I'm making my own water. I'm like, you're what? Anyway, I watch him and he's going to the gym. 3 days, no food, no liquid, no water. And he's going to the gym, running the errands, doing all this stuff. And I'm looking around and I'm like, who are these guys that are always in these videos, right? I don't know guys like that. My dad's not like that. My dad could have you could saw off half of his arm and he'd just be watching TV with half the arm sawed off. He'd have a towel wrapping around to clot the blood and he'd just be eating his potato chips with the other hand. He'd be like, well, it's good for me. It trains me my left hand's never been quite right anyway. That's how he would be. He actually fell. He broke his hip a couple of, I don't know, it was 2 years ago. No, it was about a year ago now. Broke his hip. He falls, lands on the bottom of the stairs and we're like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, I think I'm all right. He's like, I think just get me upstairs. I'm like, Dad, you have to go to get it x-rayed. He's like, I think just get me upstairs. Eventually he went to the doctor and whatnot and got it looked at. But and that's how we knew it was broken, had a surgery. He's in the hospital. I'm like, you getting your surgery? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? I've got some jerky. It's all good. So these are the guys that I know. And then I see these videos of these little fragile, my God, I have a cold, guys. And they're you can't open a jar. They have to give it to their wife or, they want to have a cupcake, but the wife has a no sugar policy in the house. They're scoffing it down in the yard. So no one I see these guys and I'm like, where are they? I need to ask around because I don't know any men like this. And I wonder if it's just a caricature that's been created. And the problem with that caricature is that then you sit and watch the movies and guys sit and watch the movies and they sort of take on that weakness. Oh, is that what it means to be a guy? And then they sort of, a lot of them, especially the young men, kind of sink into that. this is some identity that society has put on them that now, oh, I'm the idiot in the house and my wife can do 10 things for every one thing I can do. But is that really, if you really think about it, I don't know any men like that. Now, granted, you have a lot of feminized men now. And I don't mean sexual preferences. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking about feminized men who are, they're like kind of weak and fragile and soft-spoken. And, mama runs the house. And, they're afraid to step on any toes, upset anyone in the house, meaning the wife. And, they're kind of just like passive in their own. They exist. And maybe those are the ones that get the temperature and, the wife's got to come and tend to them. But that is not my experience. So I'm just saying, if you create this caricature and you portray it in film and television, and then that becomes the joke and the meme, and I think young guys just have been internalizing a lot of this stuff and like becoming it. And the guys I know, maybe because they're older, a different generation, they're not sensitive to this stuff. They're not going to absorb it and become it. But maybe this is happening to men. You know what? I don't know. I'm going to have to ask around. Because honestly, I don't know any men that are such women, frankly. Ooh, did I just say that? Ooh.
So I guess Tinder horror stories are all the rave right now, and I think this one's going to be tough to beat, okay? So I was talking to this girl for a couple days. We decided to get together, go and get an appetizer. So I meet her. She looks like her photo's perfect. We sit down, and without me getting a word in, this girl starts going off, telling me about how most of her family members are in mental institutions with schizophrenia. Then she tells me this morbid story about watching her best friend die because he was driving drunk. Then she tells me that if she was to ever get pregnant, that she would keep it if it's a boy, but she wouldn't keep it if it's a girl, because she doesn't want to raise a girl in this society. So at this point, I excuse myself to the washroom, and I'm standing there looking at myself in the mirror, like, bro, like, you should just leave. Just walk out the door, it's fine. But I was like, nope, I invited her out. I'm going to see this through. I'll, pay the bill. So I go sit back down, and the food comes, and I've had 2 or 3 bites, and she goes, do you know what eczema is? And I'm like, yeah, that's that rash that people get. She's like, yeah, so I have that on my feet. And I'm like, oh, sorry? Whatever, it's not a big deal, people get it. And she's like, want to see? I'm like, no, not really, I'm eating right now. And she pulls out her phone, and she starts showing me photos of the most disgusting, rotten feet I have ever seen. Oh, I'm still so traumatized.
Okay, stop it here, okay? Is this a man or a woman we're listening to? I'm sorry, honey. Listen, and the reason I pulled this video, originally I had asked the person sourcing content, you know what, give me some guys, right? Give me some guys too. Guys, does this not sound like a woman telling this story, right? Has he not lost all masculinity just by doing the video? There is something so uncomfortable about watching a man who's supposed to be a man do these ridiculous TikTok videos talking about a date. There's nothing more unattractive about a guy complaining about this date and I'm on this date and this girl's. And I get it. It's a funny story, but isn't there something so feminine about this whole thing? You want a guy to just go on the date. Oh, it sucked. That's what you want his commentary to be, right? And only if you ask, right? They don't. A guy who complains. Ooh, there's something about it, isn't there? He's just he's feminized. Right? So that's number one. Guys, don't make videos even if you have the shittiest date, just don't. Don't make the videos. Oh, there's a double standard. Yeah, there's a lot of double standards, right? We know that. And the double standards exist because men and women are different and certain things are just really unattractive in one sex and not in another. And guys making videos about dates that gone wrong, it just doesn't sit well, right? Am I right? I couldn't just play a whole bunch of guys doing this because we'd all be throwing up. Ugh. Secondly, now that we got the video, we have to analyze it, right? Just a tad. All right. So first of all, this woman is obviously on the date for a free meal, right? She's not looking to get with you. Women don't go on dates and start talking about all this crap that's unappealing. Oh, morbid stuff and showing pictures of her nasty feet. If they're looking to get something, she wanted a free meal. And guess what? She found the right idiot for it because you're paying the bill and you're sitting there listening to her stories so she's getting her way, right? And maybe she's testing you and just making a big game of it and making a video of it and then going to post it. Who knows? Anybody finds that video, send it to me. Then we'll cover that. But bro, listen, why are you still there? Can you imagine? I mean, at some point he goes to the bathroom and he checks himself. So he says he looks in the mirror and he's like, whoa, what are you doing? Oh no, you got to see it through. No, you don't actually have to see it through. You can walk out. You should pay for the date. Here's why. Guys, your gentlemanly behavior, you carry that energy with you, right? So you're not doing it for her. You're doing it for you. You're doing it because you are the guy that pays the bill. That's who you are. That is your aura. You will carry that energy and it will serve you, right? So what I would have done if I was the guy, I would have walked back out. I would have said, listen, honey, this date is just really strange. It's just not for me. I appreciate you coming out, but I think we should just go our separate ways. I'm going to pay the bill because that's what I do. Here's money on the table. This just seems like I'm on like Totally Hidden Video or some crap. So listen, I'm going to pay it, but like, let's just end this situation, okay? Because she's obviously testing him. Come on, she's probably trying to see what she can get away with. Eat a free meal, the shrimp scampi, it's delicious. Then goes home, tells her friends, I was showing him these pictures and he sat there like a boy. I was hysterical. Something shady's going on. Guy's just sitting there, oh, nice toenail polish. I mean, just have some self-respect, dude. Have some self-respect, man. Oh, brutal, isn't it? Guys, be honest, watching that guy in the video, you were like, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy doing the video. Don't be that guy on the date. You know what I mean? Okay, this says, our generation thinks it's weird to bring flowers on the first date, but getting intimate on the first date is normal. And she seems horrified by this idea. The problem with the video is not what she's saying. It's that she's half naked in it. She's got the tummy. She's got this going on here like this, right? So you're talking about really the moral decay of a generation, right? You're talking about how there's people, bringing flowers is antiquated. You're talking about how that gentlemanly stuff that we always say has been beaten out of men. Bring the flowers on the first date or make the reservation or, pay for the date or open your car door. That's antiquated, but intimacy on the first date, that's now a thing. And this would have been a great message, but you're clearly all sexed up in the picture. So that is a mixed message. And here is the problem, right? Because you got a lot of young girls. I say girls because, they're much younger than me. Young women, let's say. You got a lot of young women who are saying, we want to be treated with respect. We don't want it to be assumed that I would sleep with you on a first date. We want the flowers on the first. Show up with something. We want, we want to be treated to a dinner. We want you to pay. We want all of these things. We want to be respected. But you also want to be able to dress like a hooker. It doesn't work like that because guys will size you up based on what you're wearing. So if you go to the club and you're looking like, you're there to make some money, if you know what I mean, guys are going to look at you and be like, oh, she's okay. That's that kind of girl. Now, you will be judged on that. And people say, well, Jed, that's not fair. That's not fair. It is, though. Maybe it's not fair, right? Maybe it's not. I used to dress up when I was younger. I was into the little outfits and all this stuff. And I wasn't looking for any sort of one night stand, any of that stuff. But sometimes I would attract the wrong type of guy. And I had to say to myself, oh, wait a minute. I don't want that guy. So maybe the wardrobe I had to do a self-assessment. It happens. So all I'm saying is if you're going to make a video and be complaining about, oh, we don't get enough respect and gentlemanliness is dead and people have these expectations of intimacy, honey, you kind of look like you're looking for a one-night stand. Why you dress like that doing the video? Have some self-awareness because what you put out there in terms of energy, in terms of wardrobe, in terms of look, in terms of attitude has consequences. It just does in terms of what kind of guys you attract. It just does. And if you want to attract a different kind of guy, dress differently. Act differently. Think about what you're putting out there that might be drawing the wrong kind of guy in your view to you, right? Just take some ownership of the situation. And I'm not excusing bad behavior from bad guys. What I'm saying is if you don't want to attract those bad guys, then do something about what you're doing and how you're dressing. You're not a passive player in your own life. That's lame.
The couples that I secretly think are the happiest are the ones where you look at the girl's Instagram profile and there is like pretty much no indication that she's in a relationship. She is just out here living her best life, but then you find her boyfriend's Instagram profile and she is literally all over it. Or obviously better yet, if he doesn't have social media, but if he does have social media, it should basically look like a fan page for your girl.
Okay. Did you hear that? So she feels like the couples that are the happiest is if the woman has a social media page where the guy is nowhere to be found. So in other words, you think she's single, right? But if then you go to his page, it's basically ode to her. Honey, that's disgusting, first of all. And let's be honest, that is a woman who's keeping her options open. That is a woman who doesn't want you to know that she's got a man because she wants guys to comment and like and slide into the DMs and treat her like single. I used to work in TV with a woman who she was married. page he was not one photo. And I was like, this is creepy. It's creepy. It's agenda driven. It's done that way for a reason, because if you put your man there, then there's a lot of good guys that are going to be deterred from saying, oh, honey, you're fine as you know what, or slide, oh, hey, do you want to blah, 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 or oh my God. Women who are in a relationship or women who are married and their husband or their person is nowhere on their social media page, those are women who are playing you guys. They want to keep their options open. They want guys sliding into the DMs. They want a ton of attention, and they know damn well that their attention will be cut if a lot of those guys realize that she's got a man. There's guys that just won't want to touch that situation for the right reasons. So if you're not on the social, you're like one foot out the door, honey, on her page. Now, if you go to a guy's page and you see now a guy with a girl, you should see her on the page somewhere, in my view, right? She should be present. But if you see a guy's page, a guy's social media page, and you see a girl in every picture, and then the captions, oh my God, this is my girl, my one true love of my life. And then the next picture, oh, she's the most beautiful. Like if you see it on excess, you know who's running that page? She is. Right? She's looking and being like, oh, did you? And you know what he's got to do? That guy's the idiot, we'll call him. He's got to be like, babe, do you like this picture of yourself? He's got to screen the photos before he posts them. And then the captions are approved. And then she goes on and right? It should just look normal. It doesn't have to look like ode to you. The guy's got some life outside of just the relationship, right? Maybe there's kids. Maybe there's just he's at the gym. Maybe there's something else. But what I love about this is the double standard. So he's not supposed to be anywhere on her page, but she's supposed to basically be all over the page like he's, bowing at the altar of her. Those are the couples that you think are the most happiest? Why, honey? Because he's a doormat? Because he's a doormat and she's walking all over him. So you're like, oh, they're the happiest because she's happy because he's a doormat. No, that's not happy. That guy's not happy. That's a broken ass relationship. That's a mess. You should have your significant other on the pages. It doesn't have to be in excess or fake. They should be present on both sides, and it should look real, not some phony stuff that is like, you ever see people always posting stuff and like deep down they're like in the worst marriage ever, but you see like constant need to assert to the public because they're miserable. So it should just look like a healthy, normal dynamic, not some fake bull, and certainly not imbalanced, honey. Ugh.
I don't know how to identify love bombing because that's how I think I'm supposed to be treated. You tell me that I'm the most perfect, beautiful girl in the world. You think I'm going to tell you that you're wrong? Am I supposed to tell you that I disagree? Because I don't. We just meet and you tell me that you want to spend the rest of your life with me. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, that's valid. That makes sense.
Does anyone have an overinflated ego? Anyone? Her! Can you imagine? I cannot imagine having that attitude about myself. First of all, guys, why are you saying this stuff? You're just looking to hook up. Let's be honest. No guy is going to come and be like, oh, I just met you. You're the most perfect person ever, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Second one? That's not real. Come on. But I saw it in the movie. Yeah, you saw it in the movies, honey. It was not real. But this inflated ego, this is just so unattractive. Do you see it? Like a woman who says this about themselves, well, yeah, it's valid. You would want to spend your whole life with me after meeting me for a second. Yeah, you're love bombing me, but look at me. I so deserve. It's so unattractive. Listen, girls, ladies, I don't care how attractive you are. I don't care how good you look. If you have the attitude that you deserve to be told you're gorgeous and wonderful and perfect 24 hours a day, starting day one, and that you need to be love bombed constantly, and that you're the best thing ever since sliced bread, and you're the most beautiful, perfect person to ever walk the planet, then there's something wrong with you, right? Because it may be a little mental. And B, that's distorted, and your expectation is ridiculous. And the only guy that's going to do that for you is, one, a doormat, and two, a guy who wants to hook up with you and probably never talk to you again, because real guys don't talk like that. Real guys don't do that. They're not showing up on second one and being like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. You're the best thing ever. And you know what? Listen, let's be honest. If a guy spoke to you like that, would you want to be with him? If a guy came to, be honest, if a guy came to you women and said, you're the most perfect woman on day one, you're the most perfect, I want to spend the rest of my, oh my God, you're just the most gorgeous, you would toss him like a hot potato. as my grandma used to say. Why? Because he looks pathetic. He looks pathetic. He looks desperate. He looks like he's dying for a hookup. He looks like he worships the ground you walk on and he doesn't even know you yet. He looks sad. And guess what? You're not giving him time. Do you want a guy who treats you nice? Yeah. Do you want a guy who thinks you're good looking? Sure. Yeah. Do you want a guy who wants to spend time with you? Yeah. But you want a man who has some self-respect. And men who have self-respect don't love bomb all day long because they don't have to, right? And you're going to look right past that guy who's love bombing you and worshiping you all day long and doesn't even know you but can't stop talking about how amazing you are because he thinks that's going to get him a piece. You're going to look right past that guy and you're going to look at the guy who's polite and nice but is giving off an energy that he doesn't need you. He'd like to share his time with you, but if you're not there, he'll be all right. And you're going to be like, for that guy, fess up. Fess up. Guys, you listening? You listening to the do's and don'ts? Oh, let's talk about some body count and some delusion. I love these clips. She's talking about low body count and what she deems as, oh, here we go. When people assume I have a high body count because of my job, but I've only slept with 54 men and 16 women. Only, honey? Only 54 men and 16 women. Can I just that is nasty. Nasty. And all I see on her page is all these gym pictures of her looking the booty. Nasty stuff too. Always out. It's not like one belfie, as they call it. The belfie, you know, the butt selfie. You know, it's not one every night. It's every photo and nasty stuff too. She had another video that was nasty, gross, that I was like, do I show that? It might be a bit too much. But she's talking about how her body count's low with 54 guys and 16 women. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. First of all, that is a high body count, honey. What planet do you live on, love? Spending too much time in the gym, stuff, you know, and the brain's not right. Okay. She's a gym addict. Secondly, you see her with the picture with the hot dog and you know what she's doing, right? If you look next to the video, I guess she was getting some comments she didn't like. Shocking. She writes this: I'm so tired of the constant allegations and false narratives being spread about me. The idea that I entertain just anyone is laughable because I hold myself to a higher standard, she says. I'm a woman of class, elegance, and grace, and my energy is not freely given to just anyone who crosses my path. I move with intention. Who wrote this? I value myself, and I refuse to let baseless rumors define who I am. Those who truly know me know the truth. And for those who don't, believe what you want. At the end of the day, I owe no explanations. So what, honey, what got out about you? People started to learn, dare I ask, something nasty, something dirty, something yuck, right? Got out about you. And you felt the need to write this. Can I just ask, though, she's talking about how, she holds herself to a higher standard. You just told us that you slept with 54 men and 16 women. What standard is that, love? What are you doing? So this is the delusion that happens, right? This woman she's saying one thing about her life. I hold myself to a high standard. I hold myself to this, to that. I don't just give anyone time. And then in the same breath, she's telling you she's slept with, what is this? 54 and 16. Okay. Contradiction. And this is what bothers me because there's women out there who feel the need. They want to tell you I'm this, right? I'm a good girl. I'm a really good girl. Then what? At the bar naked. Well, there's a contradiction there, okay? Or I'm looking for a guy. I'm looking for a really good guy. But there you are giving time to some idiot at the bar, some guy that's just out to sleep with you and you know it. So you mix messages. I'm not just somebody who gives my time to anyone, but I've slept with, 60 plus. So what is this? This is the delusion in your own mind. And you trying to convince yourself that you're one person when what you're putting out there and your behavior in the world is somebody completely different. Craziness. Go to her. There's a lot of videos on that page. I was going to show some, but
Isn't this so fun, babe?
What?
Getting pizza and just chilling.
Oh yeah, I love that you don't make reservations and you just give me a slice of pizza and we just walk around. It's so peaceful. I'm not cold at all. I feel very loved and appreciated. I love giving you my prime years. And I love pizza so much. You're so generous.
Okay. So she's making fun of how guys who were born after 1990, she's talking about the millennial culture and past, date. And that they're just not, her claim is they're not putting in time. They're just getting her a slice of pizza. There's no reservations made. Okay, first of all, let's say, why do women place so much emphasis on the amount of money spent in a date rather than just, do you connect with someone or not? Who cares if it's just pizza? First of all, pizza is delicious. It looks like New York City. New York pizza is amazing. So end of story with that. Secondly, who cares if it's just a simple walk and a pizza? Why does it need to be fancy? Why does spending money always be what correlates with effort? Why? Why do you always need the dollar spent or that guy doesn't like you? Why? That's number one. Secondly, she's looking for a gentleman, right? She wants the reservations made. She doesn't want a slice of pizza. She wants a real, full dinner. She wants she wants the stuff. Okay. And the implication is, well, I can't date somebody who's born after 1990 and get that. I have to date an older man. Do you know why? Why? Because older men didn't have this stuff beaten out of them. Older men didn't have society telling them all this crap. Don't open the door. Oh, she'll think you're stomping on feminism, and she'll think that you think that she can't open the door for herself, and don't pay the bill, and don't do this, and don't do that. And those guys didn't have this in their ear all day long, and they just existed. They were taught to be a gentleman, and that's how they behaved. But now there's all this going on. All this is crazy, and now women are saying, "Well, I don't like this. I want the gentleman." You want the gentleman, but you also want to be able to lecture that gentleman? You want what? A feminist gentleman? Honey, that's not real. That doesn't exist. You want a guy who's like, a feminist, but also a gentleman. Cake, eat it too. No. Do you want a gentleman or not? I guarantee you those women, they get the reservations made, and then they'll be complaining about something, right? Because that guy's not going to put up with your crap. Those old school gentlemen aren't going to put up with crap. They're going to have expectations of you too, right? Not just on them. Yeah, you know what? They got to be the gentleman. They got to pay the bill. They got to, make the money. They got to do. But then if they turn around and they say, what can you do? Can I do? Did you just ask me if there's something for dinner? You know it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Oh, but Jed, in lots of families, people share the cooking responsibility. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But you know the point I'm making here. Y'all know it.
If you look at dating as less of like an endeavor to find someone to be with for the rest of your life and more like a game that you do to keep your friends occupied and entertained with all your little stories and bullshit, it's fun.
Don't look at dating as a means to actually meet someone. Look at it like a big game that you can laugh at and joke out with your friends. This is all fun and games at 24. Then you're going to see the same girl in a video in 10 years and she's going to be like, I just want to find someone. I just want to meet someone that really likes me and isn't a jerk. What is it? Is it me? Yeah, it's you. To go back and watch your old videos and what you were putting out there at 24, or however old you are. Ridiculous. Dating this is not a mind game. It's like, what is it? A bunch of sociopaths out there? Nobody cares anymore. First of all, people's feelings are involved. If you're not a sociopath, love, you're in it to find somebody, right? You don't want to be alone. You want to meet with somebody and learn from somebody and grow with somebody. And maybe you're thinking you're going to have a family with somebody. You've degraded it into this game, this mind game that's fun. Oh yeah, let's just date and let me just, for my friends, we can just make fun of him and like, it'll just be a blast. Spoken like a woman who has a zillion options on the table right now. Today has a million. The guys are sliding him left and right. I could just make it like my weekend fun. Talk to me in 10 years. It's going to get old. So will you, right? Be real. And what a sick way to look at it's just all of a big mind game. Till somebody plays the mind game on you, honey. And then it's going to be all tears, right? That guy that you ultimately do find that you do like, he throws that back at you and he's looking with his friends and making the jokes and you'll be crying all night long. It's not a game. It's not a game. Guys, don't treat it as a game. Ladies, don't treat it as a game. Dating is not a mind game unless you're at 5 mentally and alive.
I have this issue where I find almost no men attractive. Like, it's really, really annoying because I speak to a lot of men, right? I'm very social. I love to talk. I find almost no one attractive. So, like, there's just, like, it just doesn't go anywhere, like, ever. I get asked on dates, I'm like, no, pass. And then when I do find someone attractive, I'm like, I'm obsessed with you. I need you. If I don't have you, I'm going to feel unwell. Like, I need them because it's so rare at this point that it, like, makes it extremely difficult. Or like even if they are attractive, like even if like, yeah, you're a pretty face, I just don't care to speak to them.
Okay. And why?
Like if I want to speak to someone,
Why?
I will nonstop be thinking about like texting
Okay, why?
them.
Attractive girl, right? Attractive girl. First of all, the ego is like, most people have you should have a healthy ego, right? But this one is like through the roof, but we can't even see it. We're like, her sense of self has elevated through the roof, physically. And I would love to know what the criteria is for her not being attracted. But let me tell you something. These guys she's talking about, she says like she's not attracted to anyone. Why? Because they're giving you too much time. Because they're doting. Because you're an attractive girl, and if you look at her page, every picture is all done up and like, it's highly attention seeking, right? She's a pretty girl, and I don't have a problem with that, by the way. If you're a young single woman and you want it, and you own that, and you're like, yeah, I like attention, and you put it out there, more power to you, man. Do what you got to do what you want. But the guys who were the second she does that, she's not attracted because they look lame. They look completely lame. They look like they're infatuated. Oh my God, I would do anything for that. Oh, they're too doting. They're too all up in her. Oh my God, you look so great. Like it's too much. She's not attracted. Even if you're good looking, you're given too much time, too much energy. I'm telling you, it's unfortunate, but it has turned into a game, and this is the game. Then she says that sometimes she will be attracted to a guy and she actually like has to have him, and she'll like feel unwell. Do you know which guy that is? That's the guy that's not in her DMs. That's the guy that maybe hit a like and then went away. That's the guy that, and not because he's playing a game, by the way, because he's got other stuff to do. Because he didn't see her photo and feel like his whole life ended in that moment, and he just needed to devote his time because he's working, because he's making some money, because he's probably got other dates, because he's busy. He happened to catch her picture and he said, oh, that's cute. And then he forgot about it. And she's waiting while all these other guys that are, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, slide into the DMs over and over. She's waiting to see if that guy who has options, who has an air about him that he has options because he's not flooding her constantly, is he coming back? And that's the one she wants. Now, I'm not telling you guys, the message here is not play a game. That is not the message. The message is have a life. Have a life, have stuff going on. Be a prize, right? Have your assets, your finances, your job, your friends. And yes, when you meet a woman that you really like, you treat her well. You treat her well. But when you have a life outside of her, that energy is big. And she knows it. And she feels like part of it, but she also feels like she's with a guy who's got stuff going on. And maybe she won't be on a pedestal 24 hours a day and you won't be bowing down like that, but you'll be treating her well, and she knows you've got options. So she's not going to be treating you like dirt, because she knows if she treats you like dirt, then you'll be gone because somebody else will be waiting. That's how you create a situation where there's mutual respect, not this imbalance where women are getting a ton of attention from everyone all the time and have this inflated sense of ego. It's imbalanced now. Do you guys see it? It's imbalanced. So, and I'm not saying to ever be disrespectful. I'm saying to have a life, because when you have a life, you don't have time to sit and look at her old Instagram and be. It's silly.
I just saw a video and this girl was like talking about like classy tops for going out, and I was like, fuck, these are so cute. And then I remembered that like, unfortunately, I'm a slut and I don't want to wear a classy top out. I want to wear a big fat push-up bra and look like 2007 threw up. Like I went through the whole like classy girl phase when I was like 20, probably 2021, when I was dating a man who was older than me, and it was cute. Like I looked cute all the time. I looked so like polished and put together. And then I turned 22 and I was like, let me dress like a slut. Let me dress like 2007 threw up. Okay. I like my low-rise jeans and my push-up bra and my tiny little tank top.
We're good. We get the idea. Okay, so if there were a girl walking down the street with a big beware sign, guys, that would be it. You don't need to see the sign. Okay? It's please beware, run, abort mission, bye, see you later. I don't know what code language we need on this one. But can you imagine too that she's got this video? Her mom, her dad, they see this video. They got to be sitting like, wow, what did we do? Was it us? Was it something we did? And maybe not, mom and dad. You can't always, a lot of times it's not you. Something went wrong somewhere in the equation, shall we say. Here's the problem with this. She's saying she wants to dress like a you-know-what. Everything hanging out, the push-up bra, everything. And she likes and why is she doing that? She's all about drama. She's all about attention. The only reason that women dress to that level walking down the street is because they want attention and they want drama and they want whistles and they want to feel, and oftentimes it's because you're deeply insecure, right? You've got something going on where you need that constant reinforcement from the outside. Here's the problem with that is that same girl will then meet a guy and he will treat her like she's a one-night stand because that's the energy she's putting out there all the time. And then if she likes him, she'll get upset. She will not take ownership of the fact that the energy and the attitude and the videos and the wardrobe and all that she's putting out there is attracting a certain type of energy, and then she'll get upset. Well, I mark my words, right? And maybe she won't get upset for a minute, but there will be a guy in that chain that she actually does like and would like to go home and meet his mom. And suddenly things change, and she'll still be dressing like this, because she don't know what else to do. That's the pattern she's in, and won't realize that guy has already sized her up and said, no freaking way. Because if I bring her home, my mama's going to be like, you know it. So a friend of mine writes me. He says, I was in New York City. He's in New York City, lives there. He's in Central Park. He says, I'm in Central Park and I see this sign. It says The Mush, a public cuddle space. Apparently there's food there too. I don't know if you cuddle and there's the food to share. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with you. It's a little twisted. And have you heard of these places? I'm looking for a piece of paper as always. Have you heard of these places? Oh, here it is. Where people go and they have cuddle parties with strangers. Okay. And if you go to the website, it's themushmovement.com. This is not a joke. Okay. And it says the mush is a values-oriented, agreements-based, touch-positive community. It's a welcome mush when you enter into the community. The world's first structured cuddle puddle and touch-positive consent training. The event has many aspects: philosophy, nonverbal consent training, group nervous system co-regulation, all this stuff. It goes on and on. Essentially, it is it's a cuddle party. So let me ask you this. First of all, this is very sad, right? As somebody who skeeves a lot of things, you know what that word means? It's a very Italian thing to say, but a lot of things just, I don't need to be touching weird people. It doesn't appeal to me to cuddle with random strangers. You don't know who you're going to encounter, especially in Central Park, no less. But you just don't know who you're going to stumble across. I don't really all up in your business. A very strange, odd concept, but it's also a very desperate attempt at intimacy of some kind. And why is this happening now? Why is it that years ago you didn't have cuddle parties? Well, because people had normal interactions. That's why. And now because everything's happening, I was going to lift my phone up, but everything's on the phone. Everything's behind a screen. There's not a lot of eye contact a lot of the time. You're not going on those in-person dates a lot of the time. You're doing a lot of scrolling. You're not on the phone talking to somebody. A lot of that in-person interaction, even when you are in person, there's no eye contact. You go on the dates. You see people on a date and they don't even look at each other. It's like the phone, this, that. It's like they're I don't know what they're doing. They're on two independent dates, I guess, alone. That has all created a void in people, and they crave connectedness, eye contact. They crave touch, right? Because a lot of this is happening on social media and removed. A lot of people are just, they're interacting that way. You got the corn, nasty. You got a lot of people finding their outlets fulfilled supposedly through TVs and apps and social media, but it doesn't work like that, because at the end of the day, they're lonely and they're needy and they're empty. So they're turning to this stuff that's downright weird. I'm all for nervous system co-regulation, by the way, but maybe with like an environment that's somewhat screened, people I mean, this is just a middle of the pie. Come on, let's hug it. Weird. And it is weird, but it's also important that you realize why. So if you're somebody that's living behind your phone and you're feeling that void and that emptiness and that need for connection, that's human, right? There is a human need for connection that exists and is real. Maybe stop thinking about, maybe I go to a cuddle space with a bunch of randos, and maybe instead you change your life and you say, forget this friggin' phone for a while. I'm going to make eye contact. I'm going to do more one-on-one. I want to talk to people in person. I want to pick up the phone. I want to be more social. I want to do a real date and show up and not have my phone's off for those 3 hours. Wow, imagine that. And you'll start to feel fulfilled in a way that you don't. And maybe you won't need a cuddle party in Central Park. Sorry. Listen, someone's got to say it, so it may as well be me. Well, thank you all for tuning in today. I love you. My tough love is nothing but love. You know it. Did you say hello to the plants that need to be watered? Anyway, I'll see you soon. Love you all. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And you better be here next time or I'm going to be disappointed. See you soon.